Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Tyler here, and remember last video when I said we'd be done with 5th tier towers? Yeah, I lied. So what actually happened is when I recorded the last video, there was only 3 5th tier towers. The Dart Monkey, the Boomer, and the Engineer. However, like only a few hours after I released that video, JamByte came out with 3 more. He came out with 3 more 5th tier towers. I'm like, okay, cool. That means we got more content, and that actually comes in handy because tournaments still haven't come out for Steam yet, and I need videos to make. So, what is up? How you guys doing? Back with ISAB, and what are these new 5th tier towers? So the one I'll be showcasing today is the 5th tier Tack shitter. And to say the least, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I tested it out in Sandbox before playing, and I realized, oh shit, if we don't do anything about this, it might be a bit of a late game snooze fest. So I suggested that we play in speed mode, which turns out to be a pretty decent idea. Speed actually makes it appear to be a bit more balanced than it actually is. And even then, it still seems fucking broken. So the downside about speed mode is that early game is actually very, very hard. Especially relying on these certain towers. We do get to pick 4 towers. I just specifically want Tack and Village for sure. And I also just kind of want Ninja and maybe Farm to help out. I mean, yeah, I could be going for some more better early game tower, but that'd be less of a challenge. It's more fun to try to survive with Tack shitters, and honestly, it's really close. Because the AI balloons, again, are super hard, and with speed, it gets that much more ridiculous. There's hyper-clumped yellows, like they come pretty early on, and that can really fuck with you. Good news is, I got a Ring of Fire, ISAB has a reactor, so he's got his camo and group popping power down, and his lead popping power down. I got everything except camo, but that's what the village is for. That'll do me good pretty well. Except ISAB actually may start having some troubles against like white balloons, because reactor on the Bloonary Swamp isn't perfect. The Ring of Fire seems to do a little bit better. While it doesn't have infinite popping power like the reactor, it fires a little bit faster and pops balloons just a bit faster. So it seems to be doing a wee bit better, So we're going to go into that. So ISAB is using the submarine. That is also one of the 5th tier towers that JamByte sent to me. And the third one, I believe, is the Monkey Ace. So I don't know if JamByte actually plans on releasing this to the public, like, ever. Because like I mentioned before, you need an additional thing to help you out just besides the data.jet, which is what most people use to mod. You also need a modded profile.save, which can be really risky if you don't know what you're doing and if you aren't careful about backing up, because that involves your personal data, like your medallions, towers unlocks, just progress in the game, yada yada yada. If you don't get a good modded, if you don't back up your old one, you'll be screwed. Anyways, though, 5th tier tower time. Finally got there. Just in time, too, because there were a fuck ton of Camel Regen Rainbow Balloons coming, and we just took that down. Look at that Ring of Fire. So it's a Ring of Fire that explodes into many more Ring of Fires in a bigger circle around us. So it's kind of like cluster bombs, except a lot more cluster and a lot more bomb. So I believe the idea is behind this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Ring of Fire pops 60 balloons each. In like one just normal burst, pops 60 balloons. So they have that one burst split into 60 separate rings, which is absolutely fucking broken, because you for $9,000 you take the Ring of Fire's popping power and you multiply it by 61. What the fuck? I don't even know what to think about this, except yeah, that does sound broken. It's as broken as it sounds. I mean, it's fantastic against like any balloons that aren't Moabs and stuff. But what about Moabs, right? Ring of Fires are notoriously bad against Moabs and BFBs and ZOMGs. That truly can't be a challenge. However, 60 damage is dealt to the blimp if it happens to be like right by where the actual Ring of Fire is. 60 fucking damage. And it's splash damage, so it doesn't matter if it's 1 blimp or 2 blimps or 20 blimps or 60 blimps. It may matter if there's like 70 blimps. It might make a slight difference. But when the fuck is there 70 blimps? Never. Ever. And that doesn't happen. Not to like super hash it up at late game. And even then it's just like multiple blimps but at faster speeds. That's the idea anyways. So it will deal 60 damage to a Moab class balloon. And 60 damage to a Moab class balloon is pretty good. Yo, though, let's go check out ISAB's side with this slightly more balanced 5th tier tower. He's submarine. He's having to submarine by the 4th tier ability. This is just a normal submarine ability. Nothing special about it. But his 4th tier submarine, on the left side, his reactor, is actually a 5th tier reactor. That is a 5th tier reactor sub. As you can see, it actually does massive damage to all the balloons. slightly less like damage over time than the Ring of Fire, I'd say. And it costs like 13,000, but it does slow down all Moab class balloons within its range, so it is able to take down Moabs a little bit easier than it used to be able to, just a bit. So like, okay, that's pretty cool. We'll put it to the test. So we're getting to later game in this mod. We're getting to late game, I guess, in speed, because balloons are getting a lot faster, like really quick. It is insane how fast they go. And we can like just start rushing with insanely fast, insanely strong ZOMGs that just are so much more ridiculous than normal battle ZOMGs. Now ISEB has his 5th tier submarine with insane airburst starts, and I have my 5th tier ability. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's no way you could miss that. It is like the Blade Maelstrom, but so much garbage is thrown on the screen. Don't worry, we will be seeing that again and again and again though. But I do want to draw attention to ISEB's defense because it does look like he's struggling. He doesn't have farms, so he's going to have a harder time affording a defense. But it looks like he's overall going to hold off. His submarine is seeming to come in handy. He's handling the Wolves below, but you do have to take down the BFVs and ZOMGs because the reactor does not seem to be able to handle that. However, like my single Ring of Fire is basically comparing with ISEB's insane like reactor and 5th tier submarine and selling and rebuying defense. Of course, it's under a village. Oh no, how terrible. Whoop they fucking do. But like one Ring of Fire is able to compare with that, and that's honestly ridiculous. So the Blade, I don't even know what the fuck to call it ability. It's like literally called like I don't even anymore or something like that, because that describes it perfectly. It is a huge swarm of just like trash all over the screen. That's like all I can call it. They take like literally every single projectile and add it into a single fucking ability. Kind of looks cool, you know, going in a swirl and all that. It's a clusterfuck. Thankfully, it doesn't lag too much. It does lag like when the explosions actually do something, but usually they don't, because usually there's not that many balloons on screen. Yeah, so let's see if this slows down. Is it Moab Mauler? I saw a tornado, maybe blades. I don't know. It's a cluster. I don't know if you guys can spot all the stuff in there, but let's see how it does against this one ZOMG. Oh, yeah, pretty fucking good, especially when the ZOMG is directly over the Tack ability. Yeah, that just knocks it out, and that was a round 40 ZOMG, so that is insanely strong. However, the ability is a lot more fairly priced for this Tack shitter. It costs about $50,000 to unlock this ability, which is reasonably priced because it does a lot of damage and it comes back quickly. The Blade Maelstrom recharge time is insanely fast. So that's pretty balanced, Yo, but ZOMG rush coming in, natural ZOMGs, and the ZOMGs ISEBing. ISEB's gonna have a hard time. I may not though. I'm hoping I can defend it, just trying to buy all the textures I can. I realize, holy crap, he's getting knocked down to BFBs. Let's slow these down again. Take him down. It looks like we're barely gonna survive against that natural balloon rush. Holy Jesus, that was close. So we took that down, but ISEB is having to boost, I believe, to hold that off, and he better, because he needs a lot more airburst starts, he needs a lot more reactor popping power. Alright, it looks like balloons are leaking at the bottom. Oh, thankfully not. He does stay alive, but it is close. We're having a bit of a close time, too. I can't even afford this next Tack shitter ability, and we need it, because holy crap, balloons are getting far. Let's activate. 2 of them activate a sound touch supply lines. These balloons are moving fast. The thing is, it's actually like hard to see where to place the towers because of the Ring of Fire. Oh, and ISEB dies. Yeah. So it's hard to see where to place your towers because of the Ring of Fire, because it covers up so much of the screen. So if there's one downside about the Tack shitter, it's probably that. Otherwise, you literally can't stop it. Like, I'm gonna use this game to showcase how absolutely fucking beyond comparison, beyond broken this $9,000 5th tier tower is. I assume JamByte probably forgot to add an extra 0 in there. Like, he probably went 90,000 for what it can do. Look at that ZOMG. Oh, what ZOMG? I didn't see a ZOMG. I don't know what you're talking about. There was no ZOMG there. Nope, not at all. So that was just taken down easily. And that's really all you need, just that one Ring of Fire. So we are going to try a more Ring of Fire heavy defense. See how well that works out for us. Because, I mean, it was fun selling a rebind attack shirt ability, but ISEB did say he was lagging. It didn't look like it was lagging. I mean, there was a little bit of slow-mo, I guess, so he did have some lags eventually. But there were some times I activated the ability, and ISEB did not lag out or slow down in any way. So, you know, I mean, it's not too bad. But I'm respecting his toaster. I'm just going to go for a lot more Ring of Fires. Here, let's try to count the rings on it real quick. Actually, no, that's too many. I'm just going to assume it's 60. I'm going to assume it's literally 1 for each of its popping power. I mean, that would make sense, right? And then each of those rings deal 60 damage each. So ideally, in one shot of this Ring of Fire, it'd do 60 times 61 damage, which is like 3660 damage total. So if there were like 3660 red balloons, they just get wiped out in one shot from this thing, and it fires pretty fucking fast. Also with the village helps it even fire even quicker with the jungle drums. Up, and there goes IceSab again, holding it off. That is just one ring of fire, ladies and gents. A nerf I actually suggested JamByte for this because of how just ridiculous it is. Probably, if he actually plans on nerfing it, is just less rings of fire, less of them. I know how cool it looks. It looks super fucking cool. But either you're gonna have to like massively slow down the attack rate, which actually isn't so bad in itself, or just have it be like less rings. I mean, both would be perfectly acceptable. Maybe it's a bit less than 60, but still seems to be doing immense damage. It looks like some of the rings actually do like multiple layers of damage too. Because even with like the 60 damage every shot, it seems like these balloons are getting taken out faster than it should be. Because not all of the rings are hitting every single one of these BFBs and Moabs. But they're still like going down pretty fast. And they have like bonus health. They probably have like, it's probably like 600 health for a Moab and close to maybe like 2,000 for a BFB. So realistically, it should be taking like close to 100 shots to actually knock down a BFB, but that is obviously not the case. And don't tell me that the village is helping, because that has just a wee bit of damage. That is just a wee bit of damage. It's not even splash damage like the Tack shitter. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe the balloons aren't as strong as I thought they were. At least not at this point. Maybe they're half that health. But they are fast, which is what does make the game pretty interesting. IceSab's going to start struggling because he's going ecos alongside me. While I can spend my $4,000 a bit more cost effective, IceSab wants to have that submarine showcase, and his submarine costs a lot of money, so he's actually going to have some problems. And what's funny is that his submarine does a lot less damage than my Ring of Fire, despite it costing like 4 times as much. So now we're going to try to start spamming Ring of Fire. Literally can't see if I can fit it or not. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's a spot. And now we got like 8 of those bad boys. And just look at that. Everything get vaporized. BFBs, Moabs. Soon we'll get to see ZOMGs though. Maybe ZOMGs will stand a chance against these. Right? Right? Well, we better hope so, because here they come. We're going to slow them down to quarter speed though. Going to try to have them not affect the balloons anyway. And those just got vaporized. Vaporized. If they weren't slowed down, maybe they'd get semi-far. Like, I mean, they'd get a little bit further, but they still got destroyed super quickly by those Rings of Fire. Still, the 25% speed slow is kind of ridiculous. And we are going to be reaching the end of the video. As IceSab slowly reaches his inevitable death. It's whatever. So, thanks for guys enjoying this showcase. Hope you enjoyed. And, yeah, so we're doing more 50-tier towers now. There is still the Monkey Ace that I mentioned that I wanted to showcase. And maybe I'll see how well I can actually make the submarine work. See if I can pull it off better than IceSab. We'll see. So let me know what you guys thinking of the 5th-tier towers. Hope you're all enjoying it. And I'm hoping we can do some tournament gameplay in the future too, because that also seems pretty fun. But for now, I'll be signing off. Peace out.